Hello, 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 everyone. Come on in, come on in, come on in to the webinar. I am so excited because I am going to be showing you how to stop killing these grant applications. My name is Linda Peavy, and some of you may know me as the Grants Queen. Today, we are going to fix your grant applications, right? And even if you've never completed a grant application, we're going to make sure that when you start completing them, they are correct and they get through that first line of defense. All right. So as you come in, hello, Barbara, our friend from New Jersey. I want to know where you're coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out. I am in Ohio, Ohio. So as you come in, let me know. Let me know. Hello, Lauren. Where are you coming in from? We've got, let's see, an executive director. Is it from West Virginia? Rhonda from Durham, North Carolina. Hello, Dr. Brackens from good old Texas. And Dominique from Louisiana. Hello, Lisa from, look at Texas showing up. Lisa from Texas and Keith from Bama. Bama is in the house. And Benjamin from Boston. Stacy from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And Reverend Reed from, I think it's Deland, Florida. And Lauren, you're coming in from South Carolina. Hello, Christine from Newark, New Jersey. And Brenda from Nashville, Tennessee. And Shanna from Minnesota. And our friend Carolyn is back with us. Haven't heard from you in a while, Carolyn from Tennessee. And I'm getting ready to butcher your name. Is it Joylane? Is it Joylane? Is that it? Let me know where you are. Lesotho. Where's Lesotho? Something tells me that's in Africa, but let me know. I may be way off. Hello, Dwight. Hello, Dwight from Columbus, our state's capital. And Denise from LA, the City of Angels, Los Angeles. Hello, Rhonda from Deland, Florida. Yes, 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 yes. You're in Southern California, Lauren. You're in Southern California. And Barbara from Warner, is it Warner Robins, Georgia? Is that right? Hello, Chevis. Is that right? Chevis from Norfolk, Virginia. I was right. Lesotho. I knew that sounded familiar. Our friends from Africa is in the house. The motherland has shown up. Welcome, welcome. All right. We're going to get started because I do have a lot of information. Uh-oh, Chris was like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Philly is in the house. Hey, Chris from Philly. I used to live about 30 minutes west of Philly. Yes, I did. I know all about Philly. And Hezbollah is with us from Morrisville, North Carolina. Yes, 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 yes. Our friend Hezbollah, if I'm not mistaken. We have a grant winner in the house. Yes, I lived in Valley Forge, not too far from Philly. What, about 25, 30 minutes? We're going to get started because I do have a lot of information to share. And speaking of sharing, I'm going to share my screen, but first we have to give some love to Melissa. Melissa is my tech person, and she's in Zimbabwe. Yes, she's coming at us from Zimbabwe. And it is super early there, so we have to give Melissa some love because it is pretty early there right about now. All right, all right, all right. And Brenda's was like, wait a minute now, Columbus is up in the house. Columbus has shown up. All right. And we've got, let's see, Mohammed and Amur Rahman from Bangladesh. Hello, hello, Bangladesh. Welcome, 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 all of you, our friends, our international friends. Welcome. Thank you so much. I have information to share with all of you. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and start the presentation. Hopefully, all of you can see me. I'm going to minimize a couple of things here so that they are out of the way. All right, all right, all right. I think that eventually is just, yeah, that's going to move over. All right. DOA, dead on arrival. That is what is happening to these grant applications. And I'm going to go over the three mistakes that are killing your grant application. I felt like literally I had to do this because I want you to be winning this grant money. And I keep seeing the same mistakes being made over and over and over again. So I'm like, I've got to address this. All right. So we're going to go through these mistakes. So let me know. First of all, as I said, I'm Linda Peavy. I keep it real. All right. This is a no fluff zone. And so we're going to be open and honest today. And I want to know how many of you have received these rejection letters from these foundations. Some of you are receiving them over and over and over again. Like it feels like every time you try to submit a grant application, you're getting a rejection letter. Or some of you are like, I have not even tried. Like I am scared to even try because I don't want to see these rejection letters. So let me know how many of you have actually submitted a grant application and you're getting these rejection letters, or you're getting ghosted. Like they're not even responding to you. All right? They are not even responding to you. Thank you, Lauren. Like you're applying, right? You're like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm applying for these grants and they are ghosting me. They're not even replying, like they're not even respecting the application process and telling me no. They're like, we don't even have time for this. Well, let me show you what is going on and why this is happening, right? So that you can move beyond this. I need for you to move beyond this, all right? Because you're missing out on grant money. There's over $200 billion in non-federal money that's available. And this is what's happening. Like this is moving at like lightning speed pace, literally. Yesterday, I learned about a huge federal grant that's being distributed down through the states as an arts and culture grant. So even the federal grant money is reappearing now. But let's just not even talk about the federal grant money. We're going to talk about the non-federal grant money, over $200 billion. Dollars. That is what is being distributed. That is what is available. And that is what you're passing up because some of you are not even submitting applications. All right. So let's get into it. All right. So I heard from a lot of you that you're getting these rejections. All right. Now, I got to squash this myth before we even move forward because some of you have stopped trying because you've heard that there are no grants or grants have disappeared, funding has been eliminated, small organizations can't get grants, for profits, small businesses can't get grants. When the federal government rescinded grants, cut grants, you thought that was it. There's no more grant money. And while you're thinking that people who work with me are getting six-figure grants, are getting five-figure grants because grants are available. All right. You have to know where to look. And so right now there's over $200 billion in non-federal money. It's coming from your private foundations, your corporate foundations being distributed. All right. So the money is available. You have to know where and how to look. And we'll talk about that because the grants didn't disappear, but something did happen. That money shifted. It shifted, right? And so for many of you, you're not even getting past the first filter. Those of you who are submitting grant applications, you're not even getting past the first filter. All right. I said I was going to keep it real. All right. I'm going to keep it real. It's not the grant, it's your application. It's not the grant, it's your application. And today I'm going to show you exactly why. I'm going to show you what you're doing wrong. So we're going to get into these three mistakes that are killing your application. And sometimes it's not even being considered. It's not even being read, right? So we have to solve these three mistakes. But first, no fluff zone. People know me know I don't have time for fluff. There's grant money available. I need for you to be going after it. I don't do the gatekeeping, right? I'm going to give you information that you can use today to change how you are applying for grants, like period. But I want you to share this information, right? I want you to share this information. You know another nonprofit, you know another small business that needs to hear this. There are too many of you not applying for grants because you're still thinking there's no grant money. So, Melissa, if you could just drop that link that I gave you, this is a link to the webinar. Share it, send it to somebody right now. Send it to somebody that needs to hear this. Another small business, another nonprofit that needs to be on this webinar and hearing this information. All right. Now, let me just formally introduce myself because today you've got to show your receipts, right? You've got to show the receipts. I'm Linda Peavy. Yes, I'm nicknamed the Grants Queen, and I've secured, it's probably closer to $20 million now. One, not just wrote one, almost $20 million in grants for my clients. So I've been in this industry for over 18 years. Yes, over 18 years. And I founded the LaPave Writing School. I was writing grants, I was winning grants, winning all this money for organizations. And I said to myself, you know what? It's time to start teaching these organizations how to do this. You know the old saying, you can fish for people, but there's nothing like teaching them how to do it for themselves. And that's what I decided to do. I opened up the LaPave Writing School and I have over 3,000 students. Some are small businesses, some are nonprofits. And yes, I said small businesses because when I go to these webinars, sure enough, I'll get to the end and somebody will say, are there grants for small businesses? So I'm saying to you now, people, I have small businesses and nonprofits in my writing school that are winning six-figure grants and five-figure grants. And a lot of them look just like you, just like your organization. And yes, I've trained over 30,000 people. That's not an extra zero. I've trained over 30,000 businesses and nonprofits through my webinars. I've been given over 600 live webinars, live. And yes, I do teach grant writing for organizations, for Goldman Sachs, for their 10,000 Small Businesses program, for the Urban League, for the National Association of Women Business Owners, for ECDI, for library systems, for private foundations, for private organizations. And I am an alumnus of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. And my undergrad and graduate degrees, I have an MBA from the University of Akron. Go Zips. If you know, you know. Go Zips. And yes, it is my mission and my passion to help you. I am here to help you secure this funding. All right. But let me just tell you a little bit about my story because I was not always a grant writer. I was a professional publisher. That's why, to the gentleman that's in Pennsylvania, that's why I was in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. I was a professional publisher. Great job traveling all over the world. And then life happened and I got hurt. And when I got hurt, I went from traveling the world to putting everything I own in a storage unit and moving in with my sister to Cleveland, Ohio. And it took me 2 years to recuperate. 2 years. I was seen by the Cleveland Clinic, like one of the best hospitals in the world, right? And even after I got well, I couldn't find a job. I was in Cleveland. Cleveland is not, the publishing headquarters. So I couldn't find a job. That's when I started LaPave Consulting. It wasn't because I had dreams of being an entrepreneur. I like to eat and I needed a roof over my head. And I think my sister was getting just a little bit tired of me. So I started LaPave Consulting. And one of my first contracted positions was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. Now, let's stop there because that means I've led a nonprofit and I've led a for-profit small business. So let me know who's in the house. Let me know if you are a nonprofit or if you are a small business, meaning you are for-profit, or maybe you are both. which is super smart because it means you can apply for grants right through your nonprofit and through your small business, right? It expands your opportunity for grants. So just let me know who is here with me. Small business, a lot of small business. Both. Nonprofit, both. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So back to this position as the executive director. I wasn't there for 2 weeks before I was called into the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant. Many of you have heard this story. It's true. I was told I had to write a grant to save my job. I had never seen a grant before, like many of you had never seen a grant before. And I'm being told to write a grant that would save my job. And so I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. I did the research. I wrote that grant. I won that grant and it paid for my salary. And yes, by the way, grants can pay for salaries. This grant was specifically, you could only pay for a salary with this grant. And then all of a sudden, I started getting good at it. I started writing more grants and more grants. I went from winning $500 grants to $500,000 grants. I went from winning your local grants to your national grants to multi-year grants. And that's why now I help clients and students submit these applications so that they can write and win grants. But I have developed a framework, which is why my students and many of the ones that are on here know that there are students in our community that are winning on a regular basis, five-figure grants and six-figure grants. Or look, $250 grants because money is money. And so I spent 18 years learning about grants so that you don't have to. So I've developed this framework that's it's going to make it easier for you so that you're not spinning your wheels and getting all these rejection letters. So we're going to talk about the grant myths. What's true, what's not true, the grants landscape. Then we're going to get into these three mistakes that you keep doing that's killing your grant writing. Then we have a bonus surprise. Then we're going to do a Q&A. Speaking of Q&A, drop your questions in either the chat or the Q&A box at the bottom. And I'm here to help you. I can't stress that enough, people. I'm here to help you. Therefore, you're going to get the replay. You're going to get it for free. I'm not even charging for this replay because I want you to get and use this information, right? I am not charging for this replay. It will be sent directly to your email. There's nothing else you have to do. All right. But share it. Share it with another organization so that they know the truth as well. All right. So this is many of you. This is many of you. The biggest mistake people are making right now is assuming that the grant opportunities are gone. You're thinking grants are just scams or there's no more legitimate grants or they're fake. So much misinformation out here, especially on the internet, especially Facebook. The grants aren't gone, they moved. And if your strategy didn't move with it, neither did your results. Because how you get grants now is different than how you got grants last year. All right, so here's the good news for all of you, right? The federal grants don't equal all grants, people. Just because the current administration cut grants didn't mean that they all disappeared. A lot of the money shifted from the federal government to your family foundations, your private foundations, and your community foundations. And guess what? They are literally plugging in the gaps. A lot of them are increasing the amount of their grant money. There are grants released every single day. Every single day, there's new grant money available because they're trying to fill in these gaps that were caused by the federal grant cuts, right? So the money is available. You have to find out where to get it. And I saw somebody mention something in the chat about government grants. Look, if you are not pursuing your state and county and city grants, you are leaving money on the table. Your state grants, your county grants, and your city grants. Listen, not all of their money is generated from the federal government. A lot of states produce their own grant funding. And literally, I just heard yesterday about a grant, a significant arts and culture grant that's being given, originating with the federal government, coming down through the state. This was coming through the state of Illinois, but it's coming through other states as well. What you need to do for the state grants, go to your Department of Development, whatever state you're in. I'm in Ohio, Ohio Department of Development. Please sign up for their notifications and their newsletter so that you know when those grants are releasing. Do you know that oftentimes your city government, they have grants? Now they try to keep it on the down low, but be in tune with whomever your representative is, your council person. Let them know what your need is so that when those grants are available, you know about them. And the same for counties. Sign up so that you get those notifications. And I said $200 billion, right? This is where it's coming from. There's over 150,000 private foundations, over 17,000 public foundations, over 900 community foundations, over 2,000 corporate foundations. And you heard a couple of months ago, the federal government even re-released $2 billion for mental health and wellness. So even the federal government is starting to release some of the grant money that they had rescinded. So the money is available. Find out how to get it. Here's Hezbollah. Hezbollah is with us, right? Hezbollah is with us. I saw her in the chat. She won $10,000. She has a phenomenal Sisters Against Domestic Violence program. And she did the research. She matched her program to where this Emmy Lou Tompkins Foundation today was giving. She has a phenomenal program where she provides legal support for survivors. And she said, all praises to the Most High. Thanks, Linda Peavy. Your course really works. She bought the course. Followed the steps, $10,000. $10,000. She's right in the chat, right? They're like, this is real money. These are real people. These are real people. Now, let's get into the three-part grant strategy system. 3 parts so that you can stop killing your grant application. There's 3 parts to it. Be grant ready, find the right funder, differentiate, and show your impact. Because these are the 3 decisions that funders are making before they approve anything. You've got to have these 3 in order. Because if you don't get this right, your application is what? Dead on arrival. And listen to me, this is very important. This is not about you writing better. This is not about writing the perfect grant application. You do not have to be a professional grant writer. This is about understanding how funding decisions are made by these foundations. You get that right, you'll place yourself in a much better position to start winning. So let's start with the grant ready. Because as I said before, if you don't get this right, most of these applications are dead before they even start. And this is what happens. Missing documents. Where's your EIN? Nonprofits, do you have your list of board of directors? You know, there's a requirement for every single state to have a minimum number of board members. It differs per state. Your state may require 5 and you only have 3 and you're trying to get grants. No. Your financial statements, do you have them in order? Now I'm speaking of the organizations that are currently operating. Yes, you need your balance sheet. Yes, you need your profit and loss statement. And all of you, whether you are new or whether you are a seasoned organization, you must have an annual budget. How are you going to determine how much grant money you need if you don't even know how much money you need to operate? You must have an annual budget. And yes, you need a business checking account. You are not going to mingle these funds. The grant money is not going to go into your personal account. That is a massive red flag. So yes, you need a business checking account. Or what about your structure? You're a nonprofit. You're trying to get grants and you don't even have your 501c3 because most foundations require it. Now, I know some grants you can have a fiscal agent, but you need your 501c3 because the overwhelming majority of organizations require it. And besides, keep in mind, with a fiscal agent, they're the ones that get the grant money and they have to give it to you. Do you trust them on that level? Are you a legitimate organization, small businesses? I'm talking to you now. I'm in Ohio. In Ohio, literally, you must have a business license to conduct business in Ohio as a small business. Find out if one is required in your state. Because oftentimes these documents are required as a part of the grant application. All right. And what about the no narrative? You have a passion. I got it. You have a mission. You know how you want to help, but you haven't even written down one word of what it looks like. You want to address the homeless population in your city. You want to. The passion is there. You have a reason. But how are you going to do it? You have to write down what this thing is so that the organization knows what it is that you plan on doing to address the problem. And this is not just for nonprofits, this is for small businesses as well. What is your plan for opening up that restaurant or that jewelry store? So these are the components of being grant ready, your foundation, your structure, your legal documents, the business setup. Are you an LLC? Are you a sole proprietor? Are you a nonprofit? People ask me all the time, can I be a nonprofit and a small business at the same time? No, those are two totally different legal entities. You have to run them very differently. And your financial readiness. Do you even have a business checking account? Are you clear about your program, your impact, your outcomes, your grant positioning? We'll talk more about a couple of these later. And the documents. We offer a 30-point checklist to ensure that people in my community are grant ready. All right. So what happens when this is not in order? There's no framework, right? It's just like throwing spaghetti against the wall. You try to see what's sticking, and what doesn't. That doesn't work. That's not working now. There's no readiness, there's no clarity. And what happens because of it? Immediate rejection of your application. If your state requires 5 board members and you apply for a grant and you only have 3, you're not going to get the grant. And it means lack of credibility on your behalf. And hear me when I say this, funders are not trying to figure you out. I want to say that again. Funders are not trying to figure you out. That's not their job. Come ready. So here's an example of not being grant ready. You have a workforce development program, you have a job training program. So when you describe your organization, you say, we help individuals gain employment and improve their lives. No, that sounds like everybody else. That sounds like any other job training program. You're not talking about numbers, no outcome, no proof, no structure, as opposed to being able to say we provide workforce training to 120 adults annually with 78% securing employment within 90 days. Now you've got your outcomes, you got some measurable impact, you define your program, you become more credible, meaning you become more fundable. So that is what it looks like. But guess what? Even if you are grant ready, most people fail here next. This is where most people fail. All 3 components have to be combined. You can't just be grant ready. This right here, this is where most people fail. Funder misalignment. Oh my gosh. Chasing open grants. You saw $1 million grant and look at her. Just trying to get it. Just trying to get it. You just see money. You see a $50,000 grant, you see $1 million grant, and you just go after it. No matching of priorities. You're not trying to figure out whether or not that's the grant for you. You just see the money. And what does it do? It causes an automatic rejection because if I am an organization, I'm a foundation, I am giving grant money, to organizations that build motorcycles. You are a bakery. Why are you applying to my grant? You're not even going to be considered. It's not even getting past the first stage. Listen, people, you can have a perfect application and it can still get rejected. You can have a beautiful grant narrative. Your program can be phenomenal. You can still get rejected because you're not applying to the right organization. So what does this mean? 87% of proposals are rejected because the organization applied to the wrong funder. It's not because you have a bad program or your proposal is weak. It's because that grant was never for you. And this is what the majority of you are doing. You're chasing every single grant that comes along and it's not your grant. You're applying without alignment, without showing that your program is in alignment with where they're funding. And sometimes you're just misreading the eligibility. It's for a nonprofit and you're a for-profit and you're trying to apply for it. AI can literally fix this problem, by the way. AI can totally fix this problem. Let me show you something that most people never even see, because there is a difference between an application that gets ignored and one that actually moves forward. I want to show you something. Lean into this because this is very important. I'm going to show you the same organization that has the same program but can get two different outcomes. All right. Let's start with the foundation. It is a Healthy Communities Foundation. Therefore, their focus on grant funding is preventative health, nutrition, and chronic disease reduction. That's where they're giving grant money. Here you come, right? You've got an after-school tutoring program and mentoring for Black youth in underserved communities. You say we focus on improving academic outcomes, confidence, and long-term success. There's nothing wrong with that sentence. There's nothing wrong with that description. But it's going to get rejected immediately because nothing in this paragraph even talks about health or nutrition or wellness or any ties to preventing chronic disease. So you're going to immediately be filtered out. All right. Now, let me show you what you should be doing, because guess what? This is the same exact program. You actually do cover issues of health. You actually do teach nutrition, but you were so focused on the mentoring part of it, you didn't even talk about it. So change the positioning of the program. You know the foundation is focusing on health and nutrition and chronic disease. So now you're going to say our after-school program supports youth in underserved communities by integrating academic tutoring that's still there with structured wellness education. Students participate in weekly sessions that focus on nutrition and physical activity and healthy lifestyle habits to address these long-term health disparities. Over the past year, 85% of participants improved their academic performance, yes, but they also demonstrated an increased knowledge of healthy living practices. Same program. Nothing changed in what they do. They changed how they position what they do. They pulled out those aspects of the program that aligned to where the foundation was giving money. So now, when they discuss what they do, it's in alignment with the health and prevention and outcomes and funder priorities. Now it's going to get considered. All right. One other example, let's say you have an educational funder and you have a child care center and you position your program as our child care center provides safe care for children while parents work. Where are you talking about education? This funder is giving in the area of education. Reposition it because you're already doing the work. So now you say our child care center provides early learning and kindergarten readiness programming, right? That prepares children ages 3 to 5 for academic success. And throw in your stats. 85% of these participants are demonstrating measurable gains in literacy and cognitive development. You're already doing the work. Pull it out. This is very, very, very important for you to get. So give me a yes if you understand this repositioning. because this is how you're going to align to funders and get noticed so that they're not tossing your application out before it's even reviewed. This is what you're going to do. Pull that data out. Pull out the components of the program that's in alignment because you're already doing it. Here's what's happening, people. You are describing what you do when you approach these foundations or when you write your grant applications. You're describing what you do, but the funders are looking for how it connects to what they fund. You don't need a different program. You need a different position. You don't need a different program. You need a different position. And again, AI can help you because AI can literally give you a list of funders that's going to align to your organization and will save you, I say conservatively 4 to 6 hours. Some of you is going to save you weeks because you don't have time to do this research. And you got 10 browser tabs open trying to get this research done. Now, come on, people. How many of you right now got more than 10 browser tabs open? Right now, got more than 10 browser tabs open. Come on, be honest. More than 10. More than 10, right? Just all over the place. All right? AI can help you with this. It's going to save you at least 4 to 5 hours per funder. All right, so we're going to do a quick demonstration. I use this example here. And here's a clue if you're using AI. So the prompt is the instruction that you give to AI. I want a list of grants that's going to align to my program. I am a nonprofit called Detroit Haven. I provide transitional housing, employment support, and case management for individuals experiencing homelessness in Detroit. I need to identify 5 private community and family foundations most likely to fund my type of program. And for every name, I need the priorities, that funder's priorities, the grant size, and why my organization would be a strong match. And here's a clue when you're working with AI. When you give it the prompt, always ask it to act as a particular position that will get you a better answer. So I'm going to start off by saying act as an experienced grant strategist and foundation researcher. And then give me this information. All right, so we're going to stop sharing and we're going to go to let me make sure it's pulled up. My AI, I have Chat GPT. I have the paid version. If you can at all get the paid version, please do so. All right. The research is deeper. It's $20 a month. It's worth it. So I simply put into my Chat GPT exactly what I read to you. Act as an experienced grant strategist and foundation researcher. I need 5 organizations that will fund my nonprofit. Transitional housing, employment support, case management for the homeless in Detroit. I'm doing this live. I just hit the enter. This is fairly simple. This is a fairly simple prompt. So you see it's searching, it's searching, it's searching the web. Now, I want you to tell me how long did that take? Because I think it took 2 seconds. I think I counted 2 seconds. How long did it take? How long did it take? I counted 2 seconds. How long did you count? Put in the chat. I counted 2. The Kresge Foundation, the size of the grant, and why my organization is a strong match. The Gilbert Family Foundation, the amount of the grant, and why I'm a good match. The Ballmer Group, the size of the grant, their funding priorities. Notice all of these funding priorities are in the area of what I'm doing. Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan. Notice it's giving me community foundations, private foundations, family foundations, exactly what I asked it to do. The McGregor Fund. And it's giving you, it always gives you a little bit extra. AI is very extra. It's going to give you a little bit extra. So now it's saying strategic positioning tip. To maximize success with these funders, position Detroit Haven as not just another housing provider, but a housing to self-sufficiency pipeline. Is trying to help you get this grant money, people. This is AI. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go back to the presentation. All right. All right. Let's get to number 3. Let's talk about the third mistake. It is because you are not differentiating yourself and you're not showing any impact whatsoever. And this is where even the strongest program that you have will lose grant money. And I'm going to say it again, it's not because you're not doing good work. It's not because you don't have a great program. This is where you've got to shift your mindset. You got the best program in the world, but are you able to differentiate yourself? Are you able to talk about your impact? Or else you're going to sound like everybody else. Are you using generic language in your grant applications? Not talking about the outcomes, no clear impact. You look like everybody else. We help the community. We help the community. We help the community. You sound to look like everybody else. And when you blend in, you get ignored. When you blend in, you get ignored. All right. So this is why having an in-depth grant template is everything. The grant templates that we create has about 15 different components. And it tells your story and it shows your uniqueness and it shows your impact because that is what organizations want to see. And it talks about your need statement. What is the problem you're trying to solve? Whether it's a homeless program or you want to open up a restaurant because there are no other restaurants like yours within a 5-mile radius of that community. So you're trying to solve that problem. But why you? Maybe you have recipes that you wanted to pass down through generations. And why now? So it doesn't matter if you are a nonprofit or a small business, you've got to create this need statement. You have to talk about your transformation. What is the impact that you're having on the community and the people that you serve? Because it's not good enough for you to say, I have an after school program, I serve 150 students. Not good enough. What is happening to those students that you serve? Can you say that they've improved their test scores? Can you say that they've gained confidence and now they would be able to graduate from high school on time and go to college or take a trade or go to the military or get a job? It's not enough for you to say, we send 30 people to the homeless shelters every month. What is happening to those people? Does it mean they have a much better chance of maybe going back to get their GED, getting a job? And for those of you who are new, no, you're not going to have these numbers. You're not going to have the transformation or the impact because you're a startup. So what are you going to do? You're going to focus on the intended impact. You want to be able to say in your grant application, we expect to serve 150 students a year. And of those 150 students, we expect that 80% will improve their test scores. Talk about what you hope your impact will be, because that is going to get the foundation's attention because you've thought about this. And they can see, they can envision how your program is going to help the community when you use these numbers. Even if you're new, you haven't opened yet, but you can envision the impact of your organization on the community. So let's focus on a child care center. Let's talk about what looks like a weak differentiation versus a strong. I have a few child care centers in my community. And this is what most people write. I kid you not. This is what most people write. Our child care center provides high quality care. What does that mean? What does high quality care mean? I literally taught a training 2 weeks ago. I was teaching a group of women how to create an RFP, how to write the RFP to get contracts. And that's just a word. No. What does that mean? Our child care center provides high quality care and early learning for children in our community. We are committed to helping children grow, learn, and succeed in a safe and nurturing environment. That's what every child care center says. No numbers, no proof, no outcomes, no uniqueness. There's no reason to choose you. What are you doing differently? But here's a strong example, right? Now you can say, this is not even a different childcare center. This is the same one, knowing how to use their data. Our childcare center prepares children ages 3 to 5 for kindergarten success through a structured early learning model that integrates literacy, social development, and parent engagement. This is where you have to know how to tell your story. Over the past 12 months, look at these stats. 87% of children met or exceeded the kindergarten readiness benchmarks. 92% of parents reported improved learning engagement at home. 80% of students advanced at least one level in early literacy assessments. Our program combines this instruction with weekly parent workshops, ensuring learning continues beyond the classroom. So now you've got specific, measurable, outcome driven. You show how it works, you show results. Now funders can justify saying yes. It is being able to talk about these numbers that led one of my clients, Keisha, she works at a child care center. After we met, after she did the work, she had never written a grant in her life before. 8 weeks later, she had a $100,000 grant. 8 weeks later, her child care center had a $100,000 grant. She had never written a grant before. You have to learn how to do this. You don't need to do more work. You don't need some brand new program. You're already doing the work. Learn how to get this data and track your success. You need to show your work differently because, again, some of you may find this hard to believe. These funders are not choosing, quote unquote, the best program. They're choosing the clearest, most proven, and most measurable program because funders are risk averse. They want to choose organizations that will provide the lowest amount of risk with their money and to be able to show the results. When you don't have the grant money, lets them think, oh my gosh, what more can they do if they do have grant money? Right? Is this making sense? Is this making sense to everybody? This is Nicola. I don't know if Nicola is in the chat or not. I keep saying this because I've never seen this in the 18 years I've been in this industry. Like, never have I seen this happen, ever. She wrote a grant. She's a student, so, she's in the program. She's learning how to write. She's learning how to write and do this work. She says weirdly, right? She applied for a $50,000 a year grant for 2 years. So $50,000 a year for 2 years. But her application was tight. It was solid. She's been learning how to do this, right? And tell her story. They countered. They literally countered her grant application and said, you're asking for $50,000 over 2 years. Can we give you $250,000 over 6 months for you to expand this incredible program throughout our system? They countered with a $250,000 grant. Did she say yes? Yes. And for those of you that are thinking this doesn't happen with small businesses, she's a small business. She's a for-profit. She's a for-profit. So AI, I said before, it can help you. It can actually help you address the grant readiness, right? It can help you know what your missing elements are, what documents you need. It will help you if you let it tell it what documents you need. It will tell you, tell it what documents you have. It will tell you what documents you need. And as you can see, I demonstrated to you, it will fix this whole issue with the wrong funder in seconds. In seconds, right? In seconds. And this issue of not being able to differentiate yourself, right? Your application sounds like everybody else. It will help you One, create measurable outcomes. But the more information you feed it, keep in mind you have to feed AI information about your organization. That's why you have to learn how to write. You have to learn how to write about your organization. You're feeding it information. It will create beautiful need statements. It will create beautiful impact statements that you're going to use, right? And so it's strategy and AI. That's really the winning combination, is using strategy and AI. So you have an opportunity. I'm giving you two different options to work with me to fix these grant applications because the grant template is everything. You've got to have this grant template. So option one is the fastest way because we're going to do it for you. Those of you who know me know that I didn't even used to offer this, but we offer it now. We will write the grant template for you. All of the components. That's the fastest way to become grant ready. Or if you are willing to learn it yourself, we have a phenomenal grant writing course that we call it it's called the OG course. Is the original grant writing course. It was nicknamed by a student. We've sold over $1 million worth of this course because it works. It's very simple. The course works. It will teach you how to write about your organization. And by the time you're done with this course, you will have your grant template. So either we're going to do it for you or you're going to go through the course and do it yourself. But both of these frameworks were used to help me secure almost $20 million in funding. I poured it into both of these options, right? The fastest way is the done for you grant template. We're going to prepare all this information for you. So we're going to write this customized grant template to your organization because you don't want to be this woman on the left. You don't want to be her. You want to be her. So we're going to create your organizational profile. We're going to write your program description. We're going to create your need statement, your impact statement. We're going to help you define your target population because guess what? You can't help everybody. There's an old saying called there's riches and niches. You cannot help everybody. And what are your goals? What are your outcomes? We're going to create that for you. We're actually going to give you your budget and create different budget scenarios. What would you do with $5,000? What would you do with $15,000? What would you do with $25,000? You need to know this because if there's a $10,000 grant, you're going to have to explain exactly how you're going to use that money if it's a program or project grant. Now, if it's an operational grant, that's great because you decide where to put operational grant money. You can pay for your administrative costs, you can build capacity, you can hire staff, but that's only 30% of grants. So most grants are based on either a program or a project, right? And then your sustainability. What happens when the grant money is gone? How do you remain in operations? We do all of this for you. And you're going to walk away with literally this professional grant foundation, and you're going to reuse it again and again and again to apply to multiple grant applications because you've got this phenomenal template. And we have some unbelievable bonuses. First of all, we're also going to give you an executive summary. That's considered your anchor document because when you are sending emails to meet with these foundations, and let me tell you, yes, you need to meet with the foundations. That's the number one thing you can do that will significantly increase your chances of getting grant money. You've got to develop a relationship with these foundations. So when you send off that email to meet with them, this is your anchor document, two-page executive summary. You're going to meet with me. This can't be done without strategy. I'm going to meet with you privately to develop your strategy. And then we're going to move to create this document. But there's still two huge bonuses that I'm offering in the next 3 days. I have written one of the only courses that deals with AI that will help you to research and find grants. It's called the AI Powered Grants Accelerator. I know of two other in-depth courses, and they were created by universities. This includes, I created a custom GPT for this course. I have 10 demonstration videos showing you how AI works to your benefit. You saw the one prompt that I used. I created 150 prompts. This course is valued at $3,000. You are getting the course complimentary when you buy the grant template. So I'm not leaving you with a grant template. I'm leaving you with resources to move forward. That I just don't believe in like giving you something and then just leaving you. And the second bonus, we're going to give you a little list of grants. You will be done. You will have the template. You will have the course for future use, and you will have a list of grants. Boom, you're done. You're ready. You're ready to go. And the 10 grants will be custom to your organization. So I want you to think about what this is worth to you. Can you imagine applying for 2 grants a week instead of what you're doing now? Some of you is 2 grants a month. Some of you is 2 grants a year. Some of you is 2 grants every 2 years. How about 2 grants per week? Because you've got the template, you got the list of grants. So imagine saving you the burnout. Like this is the framework that my students are using. This is why they're able to secure these large dollar grants. And they can do it again and again and again because they have a reusable template. And yes, everything's worth well over $15,000. Just the grant template and the 2-page executive summary is $10,000 easily. Your strategy call with me, and we dive deep into your organization is $2,000. And then I'm giving you the Grants Accelerator course. We're going to create a list of grants for you. This isn't just some document. This is your grant foundation for you to apply to multiple grant opportunities. All right. So this is the price. It's $997, people. Is one payment of $997. Yes, for all of this. Yes. You get over $15,000 worth of help that you're not even going to do. We're going to do it for you. So one payment of $997 or 2 payments of $597 in the next 3 days, 3 days only. The Done For You grant template, the executive summary, you're meeting with me privately. I'm giving you the Grants Accelerator course, and we're going to do a list of grants for you. And by the way, we do offer buy now, pay later. I'll show you how to do that. If you use like Afterpay or Klarna, they will give you 4 interest-free payments. But maybe you want to do it yourself, which is great. Maybe you want the OG course. If you want to do it yourself, you go through the course, you answer my questions, and by the time you're done, you have a grant template, right? It's the OG course, Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys to Winning Grant Proposals. This is my first course. Everything I learned to win over $18 million, I poured into this course. This is why the students use this course and are winning grant money. This is why I've sold $1 million worth of this course, because it works. It will teach you how to write your mission, how to tell your story, how to write your needs statement, how to write your impact statement, how to write all of your budgets, how to describe your organization, how to write your outcomes and your evaluations, how to write your sustainability, because you can use AI, but you have to have something to input into AI. And this is it. This is going to get you a grant template. I've had it audited 3 times now. 3 times I've had it audited. It's a $5,000 course. And yes, you get a certificate of completion. And we throw in, and this is very important, people, we have a community. If you buy this course or even the Done For You, you enter our community. We have a phenomenal Facebook group, 24/7 Facebook group. Come in there with your questions, get help. And once a month, I do live group coaching. I just did one last night. It was over 2 hours. I literally do grant searches for you during that live group coaching call. You come into that call, you say, Linda, I need a grant for XYZ. Help me. I do the live grant search for you right then and there. Here you get downloadables. This is online, self-paced. Go at your own pace. It's all online. And yes, lifetime access. Excuse me, lifetime access. So yes, it's worth $5,000. People is $297. It's normally $497. You're going to get $200 off if you buy it within the next 3 days because people pay the $497. They are so happy to pay $497, but you'll get it for $297. So this is the do-it-yourself version. You go through the course and you create a grant template. You answer my questions, but you're in our community, lifetime access. That's priceless right there. Lifetime access. Or of course, we always throw in a payment plan, 2 payments of 175. All right? So you choose. You already saw what's not working. You know what's not working. You know what you've been doing. Now you've got 2 ways to fix it. Here's Kimberly. I don't know if Kimberly is with me tonight. She won an $84,000 grant, 4 pages, because she knew how to fill those 4 pages. Grants are not 100 pages anymore. Like they're just not. The foundations don't have the staff or the time to sort through 100-page grant applications. This was a 4-page document, $84,000. So you have a choice. Let us do it for you. That this is by far the best deal. $997. Grant template, the AI course, the list of grants, the strategy session with me, or $297. Do it yourself. You get the grant writing for non-writers course. So I want you to ask yourself, all of you, where you want to be in 3 months. You can't keep doing what you've been doing. It's not working. It's just not working. So I want you to tell me in the chat, where do you want to be in 3 months? Do you want to be frustrated or do you want to be funded? Which one? Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn says that course is awesome. Yes, it is. It's amazing. Funded. Deidre, Cynthia, Nicole, that's what I'm talking about. Say it. Janae, funded. Dr. Bracken's funded. Funded, funded. Dwight, funded. Joelaine, funded. Conrad, funded. Yes. You can't keep doing what you've been doing. It's just not working. Shayna, June, March, Joshua, you want to be funded. It's Q&A time. I'm going to stop sharing. I saw a lot of questions, but the very first thing I'm going to do quickly, I'm going to show you. Let me make sure this is pulled up. I want to show you how to buy them both. All right. So the first one, this is done for you. Let me share the screen really quickly. For those of you who are asking, not what I want to do. There we go. This is the done for you package. And so some of you were asking about the payment. Click it here. So 2 payments of $597 or 1 payment of $997. Now I said that we do offer, let's get this out of the way. I said we actually do offer, right? It's called buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later. If you want the buy now, pay later, click pay another way. And then scroll down to new payment method. And then you have a choice of either Afterpay or Klarna. Let's hit Klarna, and it will give you 4 interest-free payments of $249.25. And we don't wait for you to pay those amounts. As soon as you click this and you're approved, we're moving, we're getting started. With the done for you, we give you an intake form. As soon as you complete that intake form, you and I are meeting. All right. Or if you want to take our payment plan as 2 payments of $597. This is the grant writing course. It's only $297. Here it is. Oh, and by the way, we also offer buy now, pay later for it too, right? Again, you want to hit, you may have to hit change. Yep, there you go. New payment method. There it is. Afterpay and Klarna, right? And that will probably also be 4 different payments. Now, for those of you who are buying the course, if you're thinking, well, Linda, I still want to meet with you, you can. There's a Ask the Expert private grant coaching that you can buy. It's normally $500 an hour, but it's reduced to $247 an hour. You can tag that on if you're just buying the course. If you want to meet with me, you can still do that. But again, the much better deal is done for you. All right. All right. So let me stop sharing. Let me get to the questions. Let me get, so we're right here. Okay. They moved it. There we go. How can a newer organization show grant readiness even without a long funding history? So you go through those documents, you go back through the slide and make sure you have a grant budget. Even though you're not going to be able to show impact, you need to show what your expected impact is going to be, right? Because you're equating grant readiness with funding. You asked me, how can a newer organization show grant readiness even without a long funding history? But the grant readiness does not equate to your funding history. So go back to the slide and go through step by step. I listed it out as to how you become grant ready. But I never mentioned anything about a funding history. I talked about impact. If you have impact, what is it? Right? What is your budget? What are your documents? Do you have your board of directors? Do you have personnel? Do you have your program mapped out? Even if you've been in business, look, there are organizations in this community, they've only been open 6 months and they're getting grant money because in those 6 months, they were able to show some impact. They were able to show some work. I literally had this conversation a couple of weeks ago with someone that, again, more misinformation, that told me that somebody told them that you can't get any grant money until you become 3 years old. I'm like, where does this stuff come from? 3 years old. There are organizations right in our community that get grant money after they're new. There are startup grants. Startup grants. As a matter of fact, Amber Grants for Women, they're one of the few organizations that will give you grant money based on your idea. You do not have to have earned one penny. All right. Joshua, so you signed up for the course, you're still waiting on the email. So that should have absolutely been sent to that. You were the one with the 2 different emails, right? So it was going to the email where you weren't sure if that was the email. It was a different email than the email you used to sign up, right? Exactly. Oh, but you know what? You know what I'm saying here? That's not the email that you use had one T for attracts. I'm letting you know. Send me an email. Just send me an email so that we can figure it out. That's what's happening. The email address that is literally in your account is not, yes, yes, Joshua. There's one T in there. All right. So what I can do is go in and change it. So I'll go in and change your email. All right. And then and so once I change it, or once my team changes it, you'll get an email and you'll know that it's been changed. All right. So let me go over to, that was the Q&A. Let me go over to the chat and I'm going to take my time. But while I'm doing this, I want you all to do something for yourself, not for me, not for me, for yourself. I want you all to put into this chat right before you leave here. This is important. This is why I want you to shift your mindset. I want you all to put into the chat, I am ready to get grant money. I am ready to get grant money because I know how it is to procrastinate. I know how it is to procrastinate. Time is out. Time is out. People, you've been trying to do the same thing. Some of you for years. It's not working. It's not working. You've got to use a strategy. You've got to do something different. Let us help you. So I want you all to put into this chat, I am ready to get grant money. I'm ready to get grant money. All of you, put it into this chat. I am ready to get grant money. And then I'm going to go through these questions in the webinar chat. But I want you to do this for you. Conrad, yes. Joshua, yes. Yes. March, yes. Maple, yes. Virginia, yes. I'm ready to get grant money. Maple, yes. Khadijah, yes. Janae, yes. Shayna, yes. Christine, yes. Lisa, Cynthia, executive director, yes. I'm ready to get grant money. This is for you. You're talking to you. I believe in manifestation. Like, put this out into the universe. Write this down. Like, get it out of yourself and just put it out there. Ferranda, Dwight, Nicole, Deirdre, yes. All right. Let me go to the top. Before we do anything, we have to give Janae. Janae was like, you know what? I am so tired of trying to do this on my own. Janae was like, I'm in. I need to see some clapping of hands and some love. Janae bought the done for you. She's like, look, do it for me. Do this for me so I know it's done right. I don't have to think about it. I know I'm going to finally have my foundation so that I can start applying for grants. I need to see some hearts. I need to see some clapping of hands for Janae. Janae was like, I'm ready. Like, I'm tired of thinking I'm going to make time to do this and it doesn't get done. You know how we do. When this webinar is over with, it's like life goes back. You know you need grant money, but life happens again. Like, put it in our hands. Put this in our hands and let us do this for you. Because you only have 3 days to get these deals. You got 3 days. All right. All right. All right. Questions, questions. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren says, thank you, Miss Linda. You have helped me a lot. Bless you. Thank you. Christine says, I don't even know where to begin. So hopefully this helped you go back to the first slide and move forward. So get grant ready and then learn how to what? Find the right grant and then differentiate yourself, right? Both three. So now you know though, right? March says she's gotten rejections and ghosted, but now you know what you were doing wrong, right? Now you know. Tamara Eubanks, she's the executive director of a multicultural festival in West Virginia. Excellent. Oh, okay. I want to mention this. Lauren says she applied for a grocery store and didn't get the grant. So I think she wanted a grant for a grocery store, or she applied for a grocery store grant, but she did apply for Costco and my local one, and likely will get a $500 grant and will be applying to other locations. So that reminds me of the Walmart Spark grant. Several organizations in our community got that Walmart grant. It's one of the easiest grants to get. It goes right up to $5,000. And you know what's beautiful about the Walmart grant? You can get multiple grants. So let's say you have an organization that spans multiple zip codes. Let's say you work within several cities, several zip codes, anywhere there's a Walmart where you have a reach, you can apply for that grant in that location. Now, you know the best way to get the Walmart grant right is to meet with that manager. It is the managers of the Walmart stores that decide who gets the grant. They should know about what you're doing. All right. Oh, and that reminds me of another nugget to give you all because it's not always about money. Let's say you have a sporting goods organization, or let's say you have a team like an after school, could be a baseball team, right? Junior high. Yes, you're going to be asking for money, right? From foundations. Let's say it's a baseball team. You know, every major baseball team in the country has a foundation, right? in addition to the MLB. So every major sporting organization, from the NFL to the MLB to the NBA, I can't say that. Not only do they have their corporate foundation, but the individual teams have foundations. But that's fine. Go to them. But what I want you to do is go to your Dick's Sporting Goods store. Talk to the manager. Let the manager know that you need $1,000 gift card so that you can buy equipment for the kids on your baseball team. So it's not always about asking for money. Sometimes $1,000 gift card will go a long way. And if you need, for example, materials for your nonprofit, for your small business, I think this is just for nonprofits. Let's say you want cups with your name on it or t-shirts with your name on it. 4imprint has a $500 grant. It's so easy to get. I think just about any nonprofit can get it, and you get $500 worth of 4imprint merchandise. All right. It says it's really depressing after putting in many hours of work. It absolutely can be depressing, but you have to apply the right way. This is why. Remember, I said you don't even have to work harder. You have to work smarter because you can put in all of these hours of work and think you have the perfect application. And if you are not aligning your organization to where that foundation is giving funding, it is for naught. Or if you are not meeting with the foundation and establishing that relationship, it is for naught. It matters. Let me give you a quick example. Because I've arranged probably 1,000 of these meetings with the foundation. So my client, I was arranging the foundation meeting on behalf of my client. And on the foundation's website, it said it was required that you needed an audited financial statement, a requirement. I knew we didn't have an audited financial statement. They're expensive. So I said, you know what, let's develop this relationship. Let's meet with the foundation. We met with the foundation, slayed the foundation meeting. I actually have a webinar coming up April 23rd where I will show you how to slay that foundation meeting. And sure enough, after the meeting, after we had developed the relationship, then I said to her, you know, we don't have an audited financial statement, but we do have our financial documents. We have a balance sheet. We have an income statement. We have the profit and loss statement. But unfortunately, because we don't have the funding, we don't have an audited financial statement. She said, that's fine. No problem, Linda. Submit your application. Just make sure you submit your financial statements. We did $20,000 grant, renewable every year. That happened because we met with the foundation. So I know it can be depressing, but I want you to work smarter, Rami, not harder. Lauren says, I need state and national grants. Absolutely. Need and want to get minority and women-led businesses. So I don't know if you mean certification or grants for them. ChatGPT definitely helps, and not only for grants, but for scholarships. Absolutely. All right, more questions. Let's see. I have a nonprofit, however, I am going to be a hybrid starting the for-profit. So I'm going to give you advice I give to everybody. Start slow, start slow, and do one thing really well because I know your passion. I know you want to help everybody. You can't help everybody. Do one thing really well. Create a fantastic nonprofit. Serve. Get your grant money. Do it well. And then you can think about opening up your for-profit because this is for all of you. The more you start piling on programming because you're trying to help everybody, the more you pile on different target populations for you to help because everybody's coming to you for help, the more you dilute your results. You dilute your results. You don't have huge teams. For some of you, you're a one-person office. And the more you pile on, the less effective you're going to be. So do one thing well and then add on other organizations. All right, let's see other questions. I just started using ChatGPT for business grants and my school scholarships. Excellent. Ms. Peavy, I need you to help me, and I just developed a rideshare company here in Philly. Uh, so I'm dropping my email into the webinar chat. If you have specific questions, you can send me an email and we can meet. If you have questions about the done for you, specifically about the done for you, all right, we can meet. We've got to give Dwight some love. Dwight was like, hold up, Janae. You are not leaving me behind. I need to see some clapping of hands. Dwight has bought the done for you. Dwight was like, I'm ready. Do this for me. Do this for me. Because I'm it's not going to get done if I try to do it. It's not going to get done. It's not going to get done. I need to see some clapping of hands. I need to see some hearts for Dwight. Dwight, you are on your way. Janae, you're on your way, both of you. You will get the intake form. As soon as you complete that intake form and you send it to me, we are setting up a meeting. Like I don't say to you, "Oh, I can't meet you for another 2 months." No. There are grants. There are grants to be won. No, there are grants to be won. All right? All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Other questions. You will all get the replay. Yes, you will all get the replay. I got your email, Joshua. I'm going to change your email in the system. And then I want you to go ahead and try to reset. Okay, Keith says, funded some more. Your teaching has caused my organization to have great success. All right, let's give Keith some love. Yes, yes. I think Keith is you're in the program. Let's give Keith. Now you know what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to go into the Facebook group and shout out every single grant that you got because we give people love. We support you. We want to lift you up. And it encourages other people that, yes, this is possible. This is real. So, Keith, I need for you to come into the Facebook group and create a post. Let us know what money you've been getting. All right. Deirdre, send me an email. Can you assist with grants for businesses that are not for profit? So absolutely. So the $250,000 grant that Nicola got, she's a for-profit, right? So of the 3,000 students who are in this community who take the course, some are nonprofit, some are small businesses. The small businesses are winning six-figure and five-figure grants too. You have to know where to look for those for-profit grants, those small business grants. So last night we had our coaching call, our live coaching call. I literally dropped a link with 15 different grants in it for small businesses owned by women. 15, 15 grants. All right. Owned by for businesses owned by women. All right. All right. Let's see. Located in Charleston, West Virginia, what do you suggest to a 35-year multicultural festival and searching for funding? Oh, so what are you doing? What are you doing? You're a multicultural festival. Ask yourself, what are you bringing to the community? So that's not how you search for grants. You have a 35-year-old multicultural festival, which means you have impact. Have you been tracking your success? What is happening at this multicultural festival? Is there an educational component? Are you teaching multicultural history? That's an educational grant, right? Is there a youth development component to your festival? That's a youth development grant. Do you have vendors or maybe you have organizations that you partner with? You are providing health screenings at your multicultural festival. So because you're providing health screenings, now you can go after grants that are geared towards organizations that support health and wellness. Break down what are you providing at this multicultural festival that is helping the community and break it down. And every aspect that you break down, you should be seeking grants geared to that particular industry. And if you have a festival, there are multiple industries more than likely where you should be seeking grants. Do you have, for example, and I'm just guessing because I don't know about your organization, but do you have maybe intergenerational storytelling where you have the elderly telling stories to kids? There are organizations that will give you grant money because you are supporting the senior community by having them come in and do intergenerational storytelling. So, what are the components of your multicultural festival? That's how this works. That's why it is hard to be able to know how to do this on your own without having help. And that's what we do. We help you. So I would highly recommend that you either buy the grant writing course, because if you buy either the grant writing course or the Done For You, you come into the community, you come into the Facebook group. Once you get into the Facebook group, you can ask all kinds of questions. I have documents, I have templates in the Facebook group. But now you are in a space where you can get help because you should absolutely, and it doesn't matter if you are for profit or nonprofit, you should be seeking grant money for your multicultural festival. All right. Oh my gosh. We have got to give Keith some love. Keith said, since being connected to you, I received, oh, you're going to make me cry. I received over 30,000 dollars worth of grants, people. Keith, oh my gosh, good for you. He's like, since I've been connected to you, I received over $30,000 worth of grants. He decided to get some help and he maybe paid what, $300 for the grant writing course, and he's won $30,000. Think about the ROI. Think about Nicola and what she paid, and now she has a $250,000 grant. All right. So, yes, please come into the Facebook group and post so that we can celebrate you. All right. Post, post, post so we can celebrate you. All right. Other questions? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to just scroll down and see if there are any other. Oh, make sure you sign up for the new webinar on April 23rd. You can come either at noon or 7 p.m. I am going to be teaching you how to slay that foundation meeting. That is important. That's the number one way you can increase your chances of getting grant money. Go in there with confidence. I will teach you what to say. I will teach you how to find the right people in the foundation. I will show you how to connect with them. I will literally show you what you need to say and when you need to say it and what you bring to that meeting. So Melissa, if you could just drop the link for everybody to please register April 23rd, either noon or 7 p.m. It's called Grant Meeting Secrets. Grant Meeting Secrets. All right, let me just see if there are any other questions. Oh, let's see here. Yes, please do the Walmart Spark grant. It's probably one of the easiest grants you can get. My business is brash and sassy, and I'm trying to get it off the ground. What does that mean? What is it? What are you doing? That's what I was wondering about. Yes, about the multiple locations. Absolutely. With the Walmart grant, anywhere you have a footprint, anywhere you're helping people across zip codes, across regions, if there's a Walmart there, you apply to that location. And I think you can apply up to 30. So that you can apply up to $5,000 and up to 30 different locations. So you do the math on that. Would that work if I'm starting a semi-pro basketball team? So I'm assuming that's going to be a for-profit. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to be seeking grants, right? But the question for you is, why are you starting it? And what do you hope to accomplish by starting it? What do you hope to be accomplishing? What do you hope the people that you're going to be seeking for part of this basketball team? What are you really hoping to accomplish? I want you to be able to think about that because that will help you in framing where you should be searching for grants, right? But there are lots of for-profit grants, and yes, believe it or not, there are still grants for small businesses owned by communities of color. Women owned, black owned, they're still out there. You just have to know where to look. I'm going to stop letting everybody's issues get in the way of my getting grant ready. Right, it's right because at some point you have to put yourself first. This is why I'm always cautious when I hear people say, I need to do all this stuff. I need to start all these organizations. I want to do the for-profit. I want to do the nonprofit because all you're doing is putting more barricades in front of you, more things that you have to do, more hurdles. And you know what? None of it gets done because then it becomes overwhelming. Do one thing really well. Plan on going to two Walmarts where I live and like four others within a 40-mile radius. Yes, if your footprint is within the 40-mile radius, go there. Excuse me, absolutely go there. For imprint. So the number four for imprint, they have a grant for nonprofits. It's $500. You can use the money to like buy like the gentleman that is wanting to create the semi-pro basketball team. I don't know if you're a nonprofit or for profit though, but the for imprint grant is for nonprofits to be able to just buy pencils or cups or t-shirts or hats or bags, right, with your logo on it. And they actually create logos too now if you need a logo. All right, let's see. Is it harder to get approved for a nonprofit than for a for-profit? I can tell you that there are more grants for nonprofits because there have been grant money for nonprofits for many more years. The grants for small businesses really just came about after COVID. After COVID, because when COVID happened, so many small businesses were going under. And so your major corporations said, we have to step in and do something about this to try to save small businesses. And so they started to create these wonderful, amazing grants. And they're still available, they're still around. That's why most of the money that goes to small businesses are coming from other major corporations that all started with COVID. So there are more grants for nonprofits than there are for profits. There are more grants. But again, there are grants for small businesses. I love talking about Amber Grants for Women because all they do is give money to women-owned businesses. And I Fund Women, that's another organization. But American Express, their grant just closed in January. Also, if you have a brick and mortar, like a physical location, there's a wish.com grant for you. There's a Main Street grant for you. You have to be a for-profit and you have to have a physical location. So you have to be a small business. The grants are available. You've got to find out where to look. Oh, excellent question. What if you have bad credit, but you are working on it? I'm so glad you asked me that. Your bad credit has nothing to do with you getting grant money. Nothing. The grant is not for you. It is for either your nonprofit or your small business. They do not check your credit record, your credit report, your credit score. No, this grant money is not for you. It's for your organization. So no, they're not going to check your credit score. Not at all. Not at all. So that's one less thing you have to worry about. Is there a yearly fee for what? Is there a yearly fee for what? Tell me what you're asking. Okay, so the person with the multicultural festival, okay, you do health screenings, you do youth educational seminars. Those are two areas right there where you should be seeking grants. So you can't think of this as I have a multicultural festival. Where can I find grants for my multicultural festival? That's not how it works. You got to break it down into components, and this is what we help with. All right. All right, let's see. You got 3 days to sign up to get the discounts because the grant writing course is going to go back to $497. It's only $297. It's going to go back to $497 after 3 days. And if you don't get the done for you now, you're going to lose out on the AI course and the list of 10 grants. You've got to buy it now to get the AI course and the list of 10 grants. You've got to buy it now because in 3 days that goes away. All right, let's see. You're going to get emails. Please make sure your email is on, please make sure our email is on your email safe senders list because I don't want the emails going to spam. For the next 3 days, you're going to get emails with the replay. The replay is important. So you're going to get emails with the replay. And in those emails will be a link for you to buy. You've got two options. Choose between the two. Whatever you do, don't do nothing because nothing is going to keep getting you where you were when you showed up. All right. The course is only $297. You can literally do buy now, pay later, and it will divide it into 4 different interest-free payments. The done for you is $997. You can do the exact same thing. All right. But do something. You got to invest in your organization just a little bit to get more out of it. And with so much misinformation, like in the grant industry, you want to be a part of a vetted professional community that can help you. Again, I teach grant writing for everybody from Goldman Sachs to the Urban League to ECDI. I also serve as a business coach for ECDI, which is funded by the Small Business Administration. All right, let's see. No storytelling, but you can implement some type of aspect into this festival for the elderly population. Maybe there's a little corner that's for knitting, right? They can come and knit and tell stories to each other, right? We have an aging population, right? So there's money available for organizations that support the elderly. All right. Keith says grants received local foundational grants, state grants, city grants with Black Belt Community Foundation, RC&D Council, Dallas County Commission. See where he's getting grants from? Community foundations, councils, state organizations, local state organizations. From his state representative, people you need to be meeting with your local officials. They know, I'm telling you, they know where the grant money is. They keep it on the down low, but they know where the grant money is. Show up. You have to increase your level of visibility. People in your community need to know that you are there. You got to show up. You've got to show up. Let yourself be known. All right, let's see. Okay, why am I starting this and what do I hope to accomplish? I never thought of that other than I just want to hoop. Ah, you have to think about it. You want a team in the ABA? Is that the American Basketball Association, or did you mean to say NBA? Okay, why am I starting this and what do I hope to accomplish? I never thought of that other than I just want to hoop. It has to be about more than you wanting to hoop if you want money. Think about what you're bringing to the other guys on the team, camaraderie, teamwork, right? Maybe you as a team can choose a nonprofit. Maybe you can adopt a nonprofit. That's going to get you closer to grant money. Adopt a nonprofit as let your semi-professional team adopt a nonprofit. It's going to get you closer to grant money. This might be a silly question. There are no silly questions, but there was a grant application that required a professional email. What's the best way to get a new professional email? So what do they mean by professional email? Probably they mean an email that includes the name of your organization. I get my emails through GoDaddy. So you can get emails through GoDaddy that includes your professional name. It sounds like they don't want you to have a Gmail or a Yahoo. So you can go to organizations like GoDaddy and get your professional email. That's where I go. That's where all my emails are through GoDaddy. So my professional email that I have My company is LaPav Consulting. And so one of my emails is assistant at lapav.com or lpv at lapav.com. I went through GoDaddy. That's not a silly question at all. All right, let's see. Yep, American Basketball Association. I'm a huge sports fan, so I keep up well when it comes to the sports. All right, let's see. I think I'm I think I'm done. Let's see. I think I'm done. Let me just make sure here. Okay. The Grant Secret meeting is not tomorrow. No, it's April 23rd. It's April 23rd. Let me just go back because I feel like I skipped a couple of questions. Let me just make sure I answered all of the questions. And then we're done. Let's see. All right, I believe we are done. Let me just make sure. I think that's it. You've got 3 days. So once you buy either of the options, I will see you in the Facebook group. Like I'm not a person that you buy something from me and then I disappear. I will see you all in the Facebook group because you are going to get a link where you click it and then you will be able to get into the Facebook group. And all of you, when you buy either option, you will always be invited to the live group coaching call. You get continuous support. This is not, none of this is one and done. None of it is one and done. So either from showing up to the live group coaching to just being present in the Facebook group, I have templates, I have MOUs, the letter that you are to send to the foundation, that's in there as well. So you get continuous support. All right? Continuous support. Okay? All right, all right, all right. All right, so let's just make sure that I'd answered all of the last minute questions here. Barbara says you now need a business number and not a sale. I use Grasshopper. So she used Grasshopper to get her business number. Is there some sort of process that a basketball team would have to do to officially adopt a nonprofit? I don't know if there's an official process, right? But I mean, you can meet with the nonprofit and say, I mean, that's the relationship that you have to develop with the nonprofit. That's not legal, right? That's not some type of legal stipulation or legal ramification. But for example, maybe on your website, you could have a donation button that links back to the nonprofit, right? Or maybe you could have fundraisers where the money that you raise benefit the nonprofit, or maybe the money from a percentage of the money from one of your games go to fund the nonprofit. It's not necessarily something like a legally binding document, but it's something you do because you care about the nonprofit. All right, so I believe we're done. I've answered all of the questions in the webinar chat. Just wanted to make, oh, for those of you who are here from international countries, this is not just for the US. So you could be living here in the US and serve a community in Bangladesh or serve a community in Africa and still search for grants, or you could be living in Africa. You could be living in Bangladesh. Keep in mind, there are conglomerates like Sony, like the Gates Foundation, like Microsoft, like the Kellogg Foundation that give funding to communities outside the US. So please don't think this is just for communities here in the US. It's not. All right. All right. I believe that is it. I'm going to scroll back up here. I think we're good. Let me check this one out one more time. We're good there. All right, people, we are done. We are done. I want to thank all of you for not only hopping on, but staying on. You could have been somewhere else and you decided to hop on and get this information. And I want you to understand how important you are and the work that you do matters, regardless of what you're seeing on TV. You need to know that what you are doing, the fact that you have this passion to help people or to start these organizations is important, right? So what you're doing matters. So whatever you do, I want you to move forward. Do not stop this. You can get this grant money. Please move forward, whatever you do. We're here to help you. You invest in yourself a little bit and you get help. And again, our community is 24/7. Through the Facebook group, through the monthly group coaching, we're here to help you. And if you want to meet with me, you can always buy the hourly rate. But keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. I hope to see you all in the Facebook group. I hope to be able to work with all of you, either through the course or through the Done For You, because you're all deserving of funding for what you're doing, whether it's a small business or a nonprofit, right? Make sure you grab my email, hello at Grant Writing for Non-Writers. That's where you're going to get your email with the replay and the links to buy the two different options. So I want to thank you all so much. My name is Linda Peavy, creator of the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys Winning Grant Proposals, and the AI powered accelerator, Grants Accelerator, where you can write winning proposals faster, and the other resources. And yes, I do provide grant coaching. I also provide specific grant research. So there are other different resources that we provide as well. In very, very, very rare occasions, we will write grants, very rare. Um, but those resources are available. So hopefully I will see you soon. And I want you to have a safe, not only rest of your week, but weekend. And for those of you who celebrate and worship, happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day. And keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. What you're doing is important. And if nobody has told you that, I'm telling you that. So hopefully I will see you all very soon. And absolutely show up to the foundation meeting, the Grant Secret webinar. Please sign up for that. Right. That's going to change your life for many of you because you'll know how to get through those foundation meetings. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.